We are back another week here at oddschecker.com/US talking more PGA Tour golf props, picks, all things Travelers Championship. Always after the US Open, a fun event. That 30 to 60 outright range, cashing some winners. Check the outright card. Well, over the years, of course. Hopefully, we'll stay back there this year. Check the outright card below. We're going to talk some props now. I got my guy at Tour Picks, Joe Idone. Joe's been red hot with the props the last few weeks, so we'll let him again bat lead off. Matchups continue. Joe, lead us off here, buddy.
Yeah, all right. Let's go straight to the matchup. So I'm going to take Sungjae Im, who is minus 120 over Keegan Bradley this week. Kind of the tale of two opposites. Keegan had a great week. Keegan had an emotional week. He played really well. Sungjae burned a lot of people. Sungjae missed the cut. Sungjae did not have a great week. That said, I think he's the far better player. I think that maybe some additional time spent working on his crafts may benefit him this week, whereas on the contrary, Keegan, it was an emotional week for him. You could see it on his face. Like, never have I seen a guy get so pumped up about a putt for par on a Saturday as Keegan Bradley appeared to be over there at the country club. I'm going to go with Sungjae here. I just feel like the form has been trending if you put aside last week, and he's the better player. I'll take him in essentially an even money matchup.
Listen, I've bet Sungjae to win. Had egg on my face for that pick last week. I went right back to the well this week in that mid 30 range. So I'm all here for it. Another guy who showed up on my outright card this week, Joe, Seamus Power, just continues to get it done. The approach game, the putting stats, and all sort of matching a nice strong week. And we've seen that narrative, at the Travelers before. Yes. Guys that sort of have sneaky quiet weeks or barnstorm it like English did last year for a strong finish. Took that right in to a Travelers victory right here. But the putting stats, I think, would be more impressive than people would think. And the approach stats, I had them all right here in my phone blank. But I want to say, bear with me, Joe.
Yeah,
bear with me, buddy. 9th in greens in regulation. I knew it was a great stat. I didn't want to understate it, overstate it. 32nd in putting. World ranking continues to climb for Seamus Power. Top 20 for him. That's plus 220 over at FanDuel. Don't bet it at DraftKings. Well, I shouldn't say that, but don't bet it at DraftKings because they've got him 28 to win this thing, and that's correlated into their top 20 number. Other sites almost doubling that Seamus Power outright number. So we're doubling using that odds checker grid plus 220 over at FanDuel for Seamus Power. So Seamus T20 this week, and I'll continue my T20s, Joe. Mark Leishman has kind of been a sleeping giant. Well, a lot of sleeping, I guess, this year for Mark Leishman, but an incredible Travelers history and a fantastic US Open. It all leads up to me thinking Mark's going to be in a nice little place this week. Mark with a C plus 240 on that odds checker grid at a place he's been comfortable. We're finally coming to life. Give it to me. Mark Leishman plus 240, wrapping up my T20s for the week.
I've got two T20s as well. I like the power call as well. I forget who it was, but had the aggregate majors scoring for the year and was like shockingly impressive to see where Seamus Power ranks among many tour pros.
People are hyping him. I shouldn't say hyping him. They think based on that and a very comfort on links that he could be a very sneaky pick to perform very admirably in a few weeks' time at St. Andrews.
Yeah, he's shown that ability. For my T20s, speaking of showing a little ability, and you mentioned guys who have performed well the week before at the U.S. Open. I know it was Ches Reavie had a third. He rolled that into a Travelers win. Harris English had a third. He rolled that into a Travelers win. How about my boy, Denny McCarthy?
Here it is. Thinking about you all weekend.
Dude, I've hit this top 40, I think, on this show that we've done 2 or 3 times now. I'm going right back to it, but a top 20 version this time. He's plus 280, which is a number that I found over at Bet365. So it's down to plus 200 on DraftKings. Take the plus 280 using that odds checker grid. The guy, he's just been awesome, man. I think he's at 19 of his last 20 cuts made. And he's just got such a unique skill set with the putter and the short game that when he starts striking the ball well, I feel like his confidence only grows. He snuck into the PGA Championship as a last minute add to the field, played pretty well at the Memorial, played pretty well at the Country Club. Like, these are not places you traditionally would see Denny McCarthy show up on a leaderboard, but he's doing so. So the confidence is there. The form is there. Plus 280 is a good number on a top 20 if you think he can keep it rolling.
Great to see him have that sort of weekend at the national championship, his national championship last week. So you gave us the matchup. You gave us the two T20s. I'm going to wrap us up here with the top 40. I'm going to Lanto Griffin, Joe. Misses the cut at the U.S. Open, but he'd been incredibly consistent. 6 of his last 7 cuts made just before that. 3 for 3 cuts made here at River Highlands. You might even see me put him up in our long shots collab piece, still deciding between that. But I think Lanto plus 200 for that T40 this week. And at the door, because there's no number yet. Bo Hostler, he's in off the EVRWD this week. He's going to be in the top 10 at one point. He might finish in the bottom 10 at one point, but I am still looking to invest in Bo this week. And I'm the type of guy, Joe, I don't like bugging the book, sending like a message into air. Can you post some Bo Hostler on the sheet? He just got added to the field. I feel like just doing that makes them think like, oh, you want him? We're going to give you a shitty number. So I just kind of like lay in the weeds and hope they realize and just slide them in. But I feel like there's a lot of people on this Bo radar. So I feel like people have been peppering them with messages and we're going to get the nut low Bo numbers. But I'm still going to be some invested in Bo this week. I promise you.
The top 10 to bottom 10 is this full spectrum for Bo. That's a great line. Jeff, I went so long on Denny. I didn't even give you my second T20 pick. I apologize.
And that is my fault for moving on then.
It's Jordan Spieth. Not the most exciting, not the most sexy pick here, but he's plus 137 again over at Bet365. He's minus money on DraftKings. I think shopping that price is giving you a little bit of a benefit there. We know he was under the weather last week, still battled, I thought, admirably through the weekend. The tee to green numbers are just fantastic. He's got that win here in the past. He can lean on a little bit of his short game and some difficult rough and situations around the green, as they always tend to like really put the pins in some interesting positions here that sort of lure players in. While this is only a 6,800 yard course, it's not easy. And Jordan Spieth, I think, is a guy who could play well this week. A top 20 on him at plus 137. Given his outright number, I think makes a good bit of sense this week. So Denny, Spieth for me in the top 20, and then that one matchup. I'm sorry I went so quickly and brushed right by it, buddy.
No worries. And you mentioned it, River Highlands. It can play tricky, but you know, we've seen Furyk do what we've done here. Shot makers can have their way, but big hitters, we've seen Dustin win and Bryson win here.
Group.
I mean, Bryson, Bubba.
Yeah.
Bubba won here in recent memory. So it's an eclectic board. These are the fun ones to bet. We've got a full familiarity with the course. We have past winners who we can totally look and break down those profiles at what succeed. And it seems to be the full bag. So those are the most fun. And I'm sure I'll bet guys that play well and someone else will shoot a 62 and clearly leave me in their dust. Joe, I'll give you the final word. You could use it on River Highlands. You could use it on anything.
Yeah, man, I could go on forever about Liv, but I don't want to do that. Let's bang a couple more props out, buddy. We've been hot. You hit a couple last week. I've been hot before that. Just anxious to sort of get this golf tournament started, I think, leading into our last major. It seems the storylines and
okay, I'll give you a prop then
to
tee up. I'll give you a prop to tee up. You tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Some books are still hanging them. Tony Finau, 20 cents to beat Brooks Koepka. Well, I mean, I've bet Finau to win. We don't need to go over that, but you know how great he's played in the not majors, the second, the fourth, the second. Brooks, this could be one last chance to pocket some world ranking points before who knows when he gets other ones. Will he care? This could be a chance for him to literally like end up be like DX crotch chop his way off the PGA Tour with a win. Like it would be full in his profile, despite I don't like how he handled himself at the US Open. I'm not talking about the play. It would be very much on profile for him to be amazing this week, and it'd be Brooks versus one of those super elites at the top of this field. Imagine that storyline. It's like Brooks versus Scheffler, Rory, or JT on Sunday. Oh my God.
He's playing this event, I think, for a reason. And it's weird because everyone else withdrew, right? This has pretty much been the way of that everyone's gone. When you're going into an event, you commit to live, you withdraw, you open up the spot for a Mark Hubbard or an alternate to get into the field to the PGA Tour because you know you're on your way out. Brooks said, fuck that. Hey, I'm here to play. I finished 5th here last year. This is my last stand up in Cromwell. I actually saw a matchup with him getting plus money against Tommy Fleetwood that I liked. I'm staying away from it because I kind of am hopeful that he has a decent performance this week, but so much is unknown, man.
Yeah. No, again, I've like you've mentioned the Fleetwood one. I've seen a lot of Brooks props. It's very, Brooks is one guy you're always have you feel like you've got a beat on when trying to play psychologist because he at times puts it all out there. You can believe it or not, but this is one you'd really have to put on your amateur psychologist hat on to pick on Brooks in prop markets or back him. Who knows? It'll be a show. I'm certain of it. We'll be back next week. John Deere, more exciting golf as we step right into another major championship in just a couple weeks' time. For Joe, I'm Geoff Fienberg. Smash that like button. We back. Thank you, Odds Checker. We out.